I knew I was different when I was young. I would always wear these different clothes, or I would partake in different activities like collecting dragon necklaces or like these big, like, remember those jeans that were like, the circumference was like 20 inches and nobody else would wear them in the Midwest, and I just knew then.
I was super sheltered as a kid, so I was a really big dork. And then I, went to a high school. I kind of got mainstreamed. I went to a really big high school, and, I kind of just started seeing what I liked, what I didn't like, and just experimented with different things.
I definitely knew I was different the entire time I was growing up. Every little boy was out there playing with like trucks and cars and Legos, and I'm trying to brush Barbie's hair and make her perfect, make her do splits.
I kind of started watching Queer as Folk on Showtime when I was like in middle school, so it kind of just went from there.
I taught Bible study classes growing up, and the biggest struggle I had was the struggle in my head of if I was accepted or if God loved me or if he didn't love me, but God loves everybody.
When I wasn't happy with myself anymore, right there and then I knew that it was time.
I started noticing that it was affecting my life, my decisions that I was making, the people I was talking to, and more importantly, the acceptance I would get from anything. I knew that I was chasing a certain answer and it wasn't comfortable with who I was as a person, and I knew I had to change that.
I had a really hard time keeping track of like the little double life I was leading. I would have like code names in my cell phone so that when people would text me, other people wouldn't think it was a guy. So if it was Carl, it would be Carly, or Brandon would be Brenda. So it got really hard to keep track of both lives. So it was just, enough was enough, and I just wanted to be myself.
My mother kind of pushed me along the way. She kept trying to like hint toward me like, oh hey, I know you're different. She sat me at Starbucks and she was like, is there anything you want to tell me?
I'm finally able to just be myself. It was a big weight lifted off of my shoulders, and people reacted a lot better than I expected them to. I don't feel like coming out needs to be such a production. I feel like if you just act like yourself and be yourself, and then it just comes up in conversation, it's less of a big deal, and people just continue to treat you the same way they've always treated you. The way I came out to my friends was more like a matter of fact. I didn't really give them the option to not accept it. I just told them this is who I am, and if they don't accept it, then I just won't be a part of their life anymore, and it's their loss.
After I broke up with my first boyfriend ever, and I was really sad, it was on Thanksgiving, I told my mom, because she asked me why I was crying, and then she cried. I don't know why she had no idea. Everyone else knew.
My family's reaction was pretty cool when I came out. My cousins and my sisters kind of joked around with me, saying it was like the Ellen DeGeneres People magazine cover where she was like, I'm gay, because I just straight up sent them a group message one morning, and I was like, hey everybody, just so you know, I'm gay. I don't know what you're doing later. Maybe we'll go, grab lunch or something.
When I came out to my mom, her exact words were, good, we finally have something in common. I like dick too. And my dad was basically like, well, it's your ass, son. Have fun.
My dad didn't want to believe it whenever I told him. He kind of thought it was a phase. My mom's super religious, and I was really scared to tell her, and she still doesn't understand it, but she told me that she was going to try to.
It was kind of brutal the way my family reacted. Of course it wasn't accepted, it wasn't normal, it wasn't the right thing to do. I was almost sent to like a boys' home that was religion orientated, which didn't make sense to me, because if I was gay, why would you send me to an all-boys school? It was a little hard, but without that struggle, I wouldn't have made it on my own.
The hardest part is probably just admitting it to yourself, and once you're able to do that, it's really a huge weight lifted off your shoulders. You can be a lot happier, you can be yourself. It's not in the back of your mind anymore, and you're kind of free from that.
I have no regrets at all. I couldn't even imagine still being in the closet.
I don't have any regrets about coming out. Coming out has made life a lot easier, just because you don't have to worry about hiding things or watching what you say, or just worrying about what other people think, because at that point you've come to a place where you're happy with yourself and you've accepted yourself. So if people don't accept you, that's their problem, and you're never going to be able to change them. So don't waste your time worrying about it either.
Till this day, I still have no regrets about coming out. I've been very lucky and fortunate. I don't have like the crazy trauma stories. Everybody from where I'm from in Miami Everybody's accepted me. I always had people defending me, protecting me. I was never the outcast. Like in my high school even, we had so many gay help groups and support groups that it was okay to be gay. It was never frowned upon.
The only regret I have is coming out so late. I missed out on a lot of experiences like in high school and college that I didn't get to do because I wasn't out.
I have absolutely no regrets about coming out. You don't need acceptance from everybody. You just need to go with what you feel in your heart and be yourself, and the only person that is living your life is you, so just be you and be happy.
Putting people in a box it doesn't sit well with me.
Your brain just wants to categorize things, but there's a few negative connotations to it that I don't like. Like, I've been called a twink my whole life that I was always trying to get rid of, but I don't let it bother me that much.
I think that everybody kind of has their own kind of a label. Everybody's different. That's what all sets us apart. We're not all the same thing.
Labels don't necessarily have to define who you are.
Gay, straight, bi, you're people. We're all human.